Descendant, do you have something positive to report, finally? Where's the Ironheart now? What? I gave the order for Jeremy to retrieve the Ironheart. I never did that. There must have been a misunderstanding. Nell, did you send those instructions?
I've done no such thing over any official channel, and even unofficially. I have no reason to contact him. Something's not right. Could it be?
Nell, contact Jeremy. Now.
I can't get through to Jeremy. His Deceive has been deactivated. And there's no record of him entering Albion either.
It can't be. Jeremy is still a descendant, even if he's sometimes led astray. He's a descendant fighting for humanity who despises the Vulgus with every fiber of his being.
Descendant, I've heard about Jeremy. But there's something I must tell you first. When I came into contact with the energy from the second Ironheart, a new function was restored to my system. It's an algorithm for amplifying the void energy sensory field. An early warning system for detecting colossi that are drawn to the Ironheart. However, perhaps because it was transferred through Jeremy's arcade, which I am not synced with, my operating system is rejecting this function. Even now, alarm bells are ringing. My functions have been interrupted and my system cannot be recalibrated. Descendant, I am in no doubt that a Colossus is heading towards Ingress at this very moment. Please transfer my sensory field amplification algorithm to Seneca. If we can intercept that Colossus and recalibrate my system, Jeremy and the Ironheart can be found. Please, help me, Descendant.
Descendant, is this code related to the void? This algorithm is sophisticated enough to be applied right away. This is truly incredible. So this is the power of the guide that the Descendants have spoken of. But now is not the time to marvel at it. Based on the results calculated from the amplified sensory field, it seems a powerful Colossus, the Executioner, is heading toward Ingress. As you likely recall from your Descendant training, the blade wielded by the Executioner is a sensitive conductor. If you allow it to power up, it will increase the time you spend in the void. And the likelihood of failing to intercept the Colossus increases exponentially. Descendant, please proceed with the intercept immediately. You succeeded in intercepting the Executioner. An extraordinary display of skill. If there was a Descendant like you a century ago, I'm certain we would have been able to stop the apocalypse. There are no what-ifs in history, of course. But the apocalypse has left such a deep wound on humanity. Regardless, if we allow ourselves to ponder all of the what-ifs, perhaps things would be better if the Ironhearts had never existed in this world. Every time an Ironheart is uncovered, it's as if the Colossi are awoken and head to Ingress. But ironically, we also need the Ironhearts to stop the Colossi. It is one of the great paradoxes. Descendant, perhaps this is exactly why the ancestors sealed the Ironhearts in vaults. I'm beginning to suspect that perhaps the ancestors hid the Ironhearts away to prevent history repeating itself. We will need extensive preparation for the moment when the third Ironheart is revealed. There is much that I would like to discuss with you, and also with the entity known as the Guide, if possible. However, we do not have the luxury of time right now. HQ is urgently looking for you, Descendant. You should make your way there as quickly as possible.
Ah, Descendant, you're here. Thank you for all your hard work with the intercept battle. Unfortunately, we need to drag you into another operation before you get a chance to rest. Albion has entered uncharted territory. A Descendant has committed treason. A Descendant. Someone who should have been humanity's beacon of hope. Damn it! How could this have happened? HQ has officially denounced Jeremy as a traitor. A rapid arrest operation is in progress. Enzo received intel from the guide and was first on the scene. Jeremy is heading towards Echo Swamp. As the enemy's attention is keenly focused on this location, and because of the swampy terrain, deployment of forces on a large scale will be difficult. To make matters worse, we've lost contact with Essimo. He was carrying out another operation in the area. Essimo's support was vital. Enzo won't be able to command and fight by himself. Our lack of manpower is delaying the operation. If we don't hurry, we'll be delivering the Ironheart to the Vulgus on a silver platter after we worked so hard to get it. We must prevent that from happening at all costs. Rules of engagement for Jeremy will be sent separately. If possible, I would like to have him brought back alive. I want to hear what he was thinking as his commander, and why he did what he did. Go after Jeremy, and please, find the Ironheart and bring it back.
All right, we've had some delays, but I'm happy to say we can now restart the pursuit. First things first, as we've lost contact with Essimo, there are no other descendants who have the power to handle the battle. We had to suspend the search and blockade construction. I'm afraid we'll need a rescue operation for Essimo. He was deployed here on a mission to destroy a Vulgus facility, and we've lost contact with his unit. If possible, I think searching for Essimo while we continue with the rest of the mission is a good idea. While our operation was delayed, the Vulgus deployed their forces throughout the swamp. We think they sensed something was up with Jeremy. I got impatient, so I took command and attacked. But because the soldiers couldn't receive their orders in time, we nearly experienced heavy losses. After that, Vulgus forces increased and rapid deployment of soldiers wasn't feasible. It seems Jeremy used this to his advantage and went deeper into the swamp. So starting now, we'll be focusing on reconnaissance to expand the search area. If you go on ahead, the soldiers will follow and establish a barricade. This will allow for much wider RK distribution, which will be an advantage in tracking both Jeremy's RK and the Ironheart traces. Regarding Jeremy's defection, the plan is to capture him alive and carry out a detailed interrogation. However, after analyzing the characteristics of the Vulgus DNA and the Kuiper, I think we need to understand Jeremy's motives first, so that we can be 2 steps ahead of him. First off, from the Vulgus DNA collected here, we identified malignant cells, those which have been exposed to void energy. Well, we'd call them malignant cells, but for the Vulgus, they're more of a genetic enhancement. They give them higher bone density and muscle growth. And we've detected high levels of void energy in the Vulgus Kuiper you discovered. To humans, this affected Kuiper is highly contaminated material which cannot be processed and used for any products. But for the Vulgus, it is enhanced Kuiper. Can you see the connection? Both the cells and the Kuiper have been altered as the result of exposure to the void, and both are needed to create enhanced Vulgus. I'm not sure why Jeremy needs them, but I do know where we can find them. The Abandoned Zone. Throughout Ingris's history, it's been identified as the first area to be connected to the Void Dimension, and the worst source of contamination is located in Echo Swamp. That's where we need to go. We can either overtake Jeremy, or at least find traces of him. Huh? Hold on. That's the emergency comm signal. Essimo! Essimo, please respond! Ah, damn it! We've lost contact. That wasn't much to go on. Right now, the only thing we can be sure of is that they're nearby. Actually, this works in our favor. This is our chance to rescue Essimo and track down Jeremy. I'll search for traces of Jeremy and the Ironheart with a guide. Please rescue Essimo and take him to the forward base.
As you know, my mission was to remove the source of the contamination in the abandoned zone before it spread to Albion. Where you rescued me, near the pipe there, my unit and I were looking for the source of the contamination connected to that pipe. We were on the verge of finding it. But the soldiers in my unit started getting sick, one by one, from some unknown disease, while the Order of Truth seemed to be getting stronger by the day. You know I have a sensitive nose, right? Well, my soldiers and the enemy smelled the same to me, but their symptoms, how the disease affected them, were the opposite of each other. It doesn't make any sense. Once I figured that out, I didn't just sit on my butt. I mobilized all of my men who were able to move and scoured the nearby area. That's when they turned on me. I knew I shouldn't have pushed them so hard. Jeremy showed up, and you know what that idiot said? Albion considers all of you to be expendable. Follow me, and I'll give you power. Let's take down Albion together. It sounded like a bunch of hogwash. But then he took out the Ironheart. And it was the first time any of us had seen something that had seemed like just a rumor. To be honest, it was also the first time I'd seen the real thing in person. And even I thought it was pretty extraordinary. Though because I'd been connected to the guide from the start, I didn't fall for Jeremy's speech. But when that bastard said what he needed for his plan was nearby, one by one, my men pointed their guns at me. What did Jeremy say it was again? What he needed? That's right, a seed storage. And I knew the source of the contamination was there too. My nose told me. You're planning on going to the seed storage now, aren't you? In that case, focus on finding Jeremy. Destroying the source of the contamination, the seed storage, was my original mission. I'll try and recover, and get back on track with that as soon as possible. I'll make sure to blow up whatever it is Jeremy is trying to get his hands on.
Jeremy has got hold of Vulgus DNA and contaminated Kuiper? Well, the bastard always had a special interest in the Vulgus. He was always praising how much stamina the Vulgus had, their power, their technological prowess, and the possibilities that they unlocked through genetic improvements. I didn't want to discourage him as he was doing useful research into the enemy's capabilities. But I can't deny his obsession made his teammates uneasy. There was an incident where he captured a Vulgus production facility. He argued that Albion also needed to create artificial soldiers. The Colon Counterintelligence Unit investigated his research and seized his records. He was sent to the detention center for a time as a result of what they discovered. He was nearly expelled as a descendant. Wait. Once he's acquired the Ironheart, there's no reason he won't go ahead with his plan. I wonder if that's why he studied the autopsy report on Alzarok so carefully. He's likely after more than the quantum storage box containing the Ironheart. We need to examine all records involving Jeremy and any of Albion's supplies. All right. Now that I understand the gravity of the situation, you may return to the field. I entrust the capture of Jeremy and secure retrieval of the Ironheart to you.
Okay, I've switched to a public channel as you requested. Now answer our questions.
Hey! Who is this? If it isn't Alpha's little... the Descendants.
We'll be asking the questions, Jeremy. What is your location?
I was just about to thank you guys. I'm inside the seed storage, which you guys so kindly cleaned up for me. Thanks for taking care of the Vulgus. I was able to swipe some highly concentrated Kuiper and organic matter, all because of you.
When did you...
Idiot. Did you forget what I can do as soon as you couldn't see me? There were so many blind spots. Until SMO blew the place up, that is. I don't know why you're all making such a big deal out of this guide. She can't guide anyone. She couldn't even find the Ironheart when it was inside a quantum storage box.
Jeremy, have you thought about surrendering? Think about the lives of the innocent soldiers you've influenced.
the Ironheart, which we worked so hard to get. Why are we so fixated on using it on the dimensional wall? Do you really think this fight will end just because we closed it? Even if we stop the Colossi from coming, how do we plan to deal with all of the remaining Vulgus and Ingress? We have more casualties daily than there are new recruits. You think Descendants will make a difference? Huh. Even if we can clear an entire battlefield, do you really think that's enough to turn the tide in this war? You're deluded. Descendants are just as vulnerable as the rest of Albion's soldiers. We're all mortal. And if the Magister's equipment breaks and our arcade runs out, Descendants will be nothing but frail human beings doomed to die. But the Vulgus, they continue to advance even as we speak. The Ironheart makes them even stronger. Humanity needs to be stronger, and I know how. I'll soon show you. Just you wait.
Jeremy? Jeremy! Damn it! There's no way he would have taunted us with an encrypted call that can only be accessed from a short range. I'm positive he's looking for something near the tree. Ah, speak of the devil. She's contacting me now. Kate, I'm receiving. The supplies I sent are the ones seized from an important Vulgus facility. We identified them as being highly likely to be targeted by Jeremy, so we went after them first. There's 3 supply boxes worth.
These are genetic materials used to create Vulgus bodies. If Jeremy wants to emulate the process in the Alzarot report, these are the core materials he'll need. But did you say 3 boxes? Only 2 have been delivered. Was one intercepted by the Vulgus?
What are you talking about, Kate? The delivery speed for Albion supply boxes is too fast to be overtaken by standard transportation. Wait a second. Jeremy. His RK abilities. He might be able to grab a supply box mid-air. Damn it.
Jeremy has everything he now needs. Void energy, highly concentrated Kuiper, Vulgus DNA solution, and the Ironheart. All of these were used by Aemon when he created Alzarok.
Are you saying Jeremy is creating a super strong Vulgus that will obey him? I would have expected bigger things from that traitor.
Perhaps, as he already has RK, he may be attempting to fuse his own body with that of a Vulgus, spawning a new being. Those of Esimo's men who were won over by Jeremy were strongly taken by his words, fully believing what he said. However, there is one thing Jeremy hasn't been able to obtain yet. An energy output intense enough to activate the Ironheart. Fortunately, I do not detect any facilities in this swamp with that level of output. However, if there are any Colossi remains in this swamp in fairly good condition, they may still retain an immense amount of power. And there would be no need to infiltrate an Albion or Vulgus facility. I suspect the remains are exactly what Jeremy is after.
Jeremy, if you can hear me, respond. Jeremy, don't do anything stupid. If you claim to still be a descendant, then it is your duty to not let Corell get his hands on the Ironheart. It's not too late to turn yourself in. If you do, we guarantee your safety. Jeremy, respond! We can't wait any longer. Esimo and I will deal with the incoming Vulgus forces. You need to head to the location of Jeremy's signal.
They didn't choose this one, right? Shh. Focus.
What? Are you scared right now? This is nothing.
Something that can be wielded by a fool like you. Worthless scum. Take care of the descendants who followed. Only one more left.
Descendants. Enzo and Essimo are at the scene. They're trying to get things under control there. Alpha has had to take some leave, but he has received full progress reports for all operations. All that effort to find the Ironheart, only to lose it again. In the past, Alpha had Jeremy court-martialed and sent to the military detention center. But he still had faith in him. He is a descendant after all. But now, with the second Ironheart, Alpha needs time to recover. Having a discouraged commander can demoralize troops on the front line. Unless we receive special orders, we must carry on with routine missions and await further developments.
HQ, we have detected anomalies in the void, requesting an intercept battle.
Damn it! This isn't a routine mission! Descendant, you better go to Seneca. HQ will try to deal with any unexpected situations.
Descendant, Jeremy's actions caused the remains of the executioner to send a signal into the void. Unstable materials were stimulated by the Ironheart, and I'm sure Jeremy had some void energy in his possession. I think that must have reacted with the Ironheart, sort of like jump-starting it. Dead brides have always been bonded with executioners. I believe this accounts for their immediate reaction to this signal. We don't have much time. Please intercept, Descendant.
Death to the dead bride. I knew you could do it. You seem to have something on your mind, Descendant. Is it about Alpha? I know he doesn't trust me. For my part, I would like to share all the data I have with him, but it's a mystery even to me as to why neither Jeremy nor Alpha can connect with me. I was never granted permissions to configure such things. But one thing I can tell you for certain. I am a code designed to protect Ingress. Descendant, so far I have provided the technology to not only search for Ironhearts, but also to track Colossi. It would be wonderful if you could find the third Ironheart with these technologies and work with Alpha to find a solution. Of course, there are some things that are more important even than that. With that in mind, please go and meet with Luna and Kyle. They seem to have information regarding a new Ironheart. It appears to be highly reliable.
I have so many melodies flowing through my head ever since I met the guide. But it feels like there's something missing. I could feel with my entire being that there was a final piece of the puzzle which would complete my song. But I couldn't figure out where it was. It was driving me crazy. So, I snuck out, without telling Alpha. I was careful not to get caught. I went toward where I felt the puzzle piece was, and eventually I arrived at the Agna Desert. That's when I heard a very loud melody. It reminded me of the one I heard on the day I met the guide. When I approached it to listen closer, I saw a red sphere. As soon as I saw the sphere, the melody was complete, and I felt it flow through my entire body. It was wonderful. But then, you know what happened? I ran into this big clunker here, saying that he'd felt some strange magnetic field or something. And that's when I realized The Ironheart must be there. But then this tin brain started going on about smashing the red sphere open and taking the Ironheart out by himself.
I never said that I would smash it. I only wanted to have a look at it. Stop making things up.
Whatever. Anyway, I had to tell Alpha all about it and came back to Albion on his orders. That's why Alpha is looking for you.
I'm sure that Kyle and Luna told you what they saw, so I'll cut to the chase. Both of them believe that the red sphere in the Agna Desert very likely contains the Ironheart. This is a golden opportunity for us. There's no guarantee that the Ironheart is actually inside the sphere, but it's the best shot we've had so far, and the Magisters agree. I've mobilized a team to investigate the red sphere. That includes you. The excavation team will also be joining you, as they were working in the Agna Desert until recently. I hope this operation secures us an Ironheart. The incident with Jeremy included, we always watch the Ironheart slip through our fingers right before our eyes. If we can't defeat Karel, even with our strategic asset, the guide, at our disposal, the future of humanity is grim. Good luck.
Well, it's finally time for a proper introduction. My name is Reyna, and I head up the world's best excavation team. Nice to meet you. The Agna Desert. This place is paradise for us on the excavation team. There are so many exciting things to uncover, including the ruins of the ancestors. And the Red Sphere. We've never seen it before, and there are no records of it either. That's why we want to dig into it and figure out what it is ourselves. If the Ironheart really is inside it, it'll be a historic discovery for the excavation team. And that's why I wanted to talk to you, to let you know that I am fully invested in this operation, and I look forward to working with you. See you in the desert.
I heard that this is the last remaining Ironheart. That makes me a little worried, but I'll give this mission my all, regardless. Kyle is doing aerial recon to see if the Vulgus are up to anything. Luna's focusing on sensing the beat generated from the Ironheart, and she's also listening out for the unique noises generated by Vulgus movements, of course. I can see her expression changing. See the way she's frowning? I think that means the Vulgus are on the move. We need to create an environment where she can concentrate. Descendant, take care of him.